Your life could look very different 6 months from now, not because you do more work or you do more things or you add more to your to do list, simply by using quantum physics to change your reality. What most people are doing, and up until this point of our time in society, people have been living in the 3D linear. They have been operating in the physical 3D reality and following the rules of the 3D. This is possible to do. This is not something that we're new to, where we can follow the rules of 3D physical reality, put in the work, and achieve the goals that we desire over the course of time. What more and more people are starting to understand and are starting to learn more about is this idea of quantum physics and manifesting in a different way, where we are actually attracting the thing that we desire versus doing, trying to chase and get to the desire. We are using our manifestation abilities to bring and attract the thing to us and not having to necessarily do more work, but the focus is becoming an alignment with the thing that we desire. This is something that I have practiced and implemented in my own life before I ever found proof, just simply by understanding quantum physics, and began focusing on my internal reality, focusing on my identity and the things that I was attracting into my life, becoming so much more aware of it. And through this, I have been able to manifest things into my life that, looking on the outside, I should not have been able to manifest. They should not have actually happened because they almost like bent the rules of 3D physical reality. It looked like I was just creating miracles in my life that didn't make any sense. But this is how quantum physics works. This is how you can start to attract the life that you desire much, much quicker, where you're actually shifting timelines to where, as you're shifting these timelines, you are shifting more into the reality that actually exists, where you have the things, the life that you truly desire. So I want to break this down of how this works, because this is what I teach my clients that come into my world that have been working on themselves. They're typically driven, ambitious, and want to have the life that they desire. They're sick of getting in their own way. They're sick of feeling stuck and stuck in their own patterns. And what we do together is we work to reprogram their entire identity. And through this process, we are releasing old beliefs, old patterns, old wounds that our physical body has been storing energetically. And when we do this, this is what actually creates space for new energy, new identities to manifest within us, which in turn is what changes our physical reality. So, the way that physical reality works and manifestation, all of that, if you're new to manifestation or you're familiar with it, but you're not really sure what it all means, what I will tell you is that we are always manifesting. So maybe you've had a weird feeling or misconception about the word manifestation, but what I will tell you is that we're always manifesting. We are the creators of our life, whether we're doing it really, really slowly in the 3D physical reality and using the rules of physical 3D reality, or we are attracting the thing to us much, much quicker. It doesn't matter which way, they both work. But manifesting ultimately is just creating our life, and we're always doing that, whether we realize it or not. And yes, the things that you are attracting into your life, that the unpreferred circumstances in your life, the challenges, the things that you say you don't want, yes, unfortunately, you are still manifesting those things. And this is where this work, this deep inner work, can become so powerful, because you start to realize how powerful you actually are. and can start to recognize when you are manifesting things that you say you don't prefer, and actually being able to use these things to your advantage. So the things on the outside that look like we don't want them, or that they're bad situations to be in, we can actually turn that bad situation and use it to our advantage to timeline shift to get us closer to what we say it is we desire. So the way that manifestation works, again, no matter how you choose to do it, is through our internal state. We are vibrating at a very specific frequency. This is casting out an energy into the 3D world. We all have our own individual, like natural frequency that we're vibrating at. And this is where the subconscious work, the nervous system work that I bring in to what we're doing comes into play, because in order to shift our frequency, we have to look at what are we currently vibrating at and why. And when we dive into this, we're actually looking at our nervous system, because our nervous system is what is responding and controlling the certain emotions that we are experiencing within our physical body. And when we take a look at emotions, from an energetic standpoint, we actually, like science can actually measure certain emotions to have a certain vibrational frequency to them. So there's almost like this scale where, like, all of the lower frequency emotions are on the bottom, they vibrate at a certain frequency. And then we have the higher frequency emotions like love and peace and joy and authenticity. They vibrate at a much different scale. We take a look at where are you, what is your nervous system, your emotions currently, what are they existing in your body? And we need to actually look at what emotions are being stored within your body, because for a lot of people, they are storing certain emotions in their fascia, in their muscle, because of core beliefs that they've held on to, because of traumatic situations, because of experiences that they've went through where they didn't know how to fully process these emotions. And then these emotions get stuck in our fascia. And this is what is casting out our vibration moving forward. And we're constantly repeating these emotions because it's what our entire system is calibrated to. So, in order to actually shift our physical reality to what we desire, we have to look at, well, what am I currently calibrated to? And how is this impacting my current physical reality? So you can start to take liberty of that specifically, be able to release emotions that have been stored in your body. This is naturally going to create more space in your body, in your field, to bring in more of what it is you desire. Because it's not that we lack the ability to manifest. That's not the problem, where most people are like getting stuck with that. They're saying, how do I learn how to manifest? How do I learn how to do this? That's not the problem. You're already manifesting all of the time. It's a matter of, why am I blocking the manifestations that I say I desire? And then that's when you have to look at the emotions that you are currently vibrating with and the identity that you are calibrated to, because that's the thing that's actually going to block the manifestations trying to come into your reality that you desire. They're always they're always right in front of us. And that's the thing, is that the things that we desire, they are already circulating within our field, waiting for us to receive them, waiting for us to see them. But if we are calibrated to a different identity, that's not even going to be possible, because we are not going to be a vibrational match. Therefore, we're not going to actually be able to allow that thing in, because like attracts like. So it does come down to energy of, am I a vibrational match of the thing that I say I desire? And if I'm not, how do I shift my internal state to be more of a vibrational match of that thing? And that's why a lot of people are manifesting things that they don't want. They say that they don't want, but they keep manifesting more of these things. It's because that's what they're a vibrational match for. So energetically, that's what they keep pulling in. Again, it's never about, what do I need to do? what action do I need to take? Yes, but that's more of like the last thing you need to worry about, because when you're doing this inner work, when you make all of your focus on the internal work of what part of me is blocking the things that I desire, the things that I want to manifest, when you make that your focus and you learn how to release those things, it automatically creates space. And when you create that space, you also restore the connection that you have with your higher self. So, your higher self, or if you want to call it your intuition, your soul essence, is always trying to guide you. It's always trying to give you messages about how to get to that thing, or how to manifest that thing, or how to bring X, Y, and Z into your life. It's always guiding us. But for a lot of people, they've completely broken off that connection, because again, they're carrying all of these low vibrational frequencies within them. They're carrying these low vibrational beliefs within them, to where it's almost like it turns the volume down to your intuition and to your higher self, that your internal compass that's always trying to guide you, it turns that volume down to where even if you are receiving the messages, which you are, you can't hear them, or you don't even recognize them, because you're not, let's say, on the same station as those messages. So it really is about fixing what's going on internally. And then once you do this, again, you turn up the volume to your internal compass. And this is what guides you to take action, to do the work. So it's not about working less, but for a lot of people, they're working really hard because, oh, well, I learned from this business strategy coach that this is the exact strategy that you need to implement in order to make X amount of money or get X amount of clients. And yeah, maybe, but there's always going to be this unaligned component of it, because you're just doing the things that someone else told you to do. You're not actually following what your internal compass is trying to guide you to do, because when you follow your internal compass, it's actually going to be easier to attract the thing that you're already after, because you're in alignment with your soul essence, your true essence. And we came here and coded at a very specific frequency and with very specific talents and purposes and contracts. And when we're in alignment with that, we're naturally on our right path anyways. We're already wired to attract abundance in our life. So if that's what you're after, is more abundance, more financial or wealth or clients, whatever it may be, just understand that yes, you can do it the way the strategy coach told you to do it, and that may work for you, but it's also going to lead to burnout. It's also going to lead to this unaligned feeling, or this lack of purpose, because you're not fully in alignment with your true essence. And when you can shift that to where your higher self is always guiding you, then you know when to take action. You know what the next step is. And it's always like a shortcut to the thing. And that's why you're able to attract so much into your life so much faster. This has happened in my own life, especially over the course of 2025. I mean, my husband and I ended up purchasing our third home that we live in, and we were in no position to purchase a home. And it just, again, like, we just constantly shift timeline after timeline after timeline, to the point where it all aligned and it all worked out for us to purchase a home. And we got rid of so much debt, not through working harder, not through pinching pennies. We did it by being open to receiving the miracles and the blessings. And again, hearing our internal compass, hearing our intuition of, here's a way that you can get your debt paid off. Here's a way that you can erase your debt. And we just listened to that and we took action when we were being given those messages. And that's really where it can be different. Where if you're someone trying to pay off debt, and you have a very specific strategy, and it requires you to live in poverty and pinch pennies and do it all that way, that can work. But guess what? That's you trying to chase the goal. That's you putting in specific work every single day trying to like get closer and closer to the goal that's really, really far away, versus you can just listen to what your higher self's going to tell you, and it's going to collapse that entire gap that was there from you trying to chase the goal. What it does is it collapses that gap to where you just receive the goal and you didn't have to burn yourself out. You didn't have to suffer or struggle to get there. You were just in alignment with it. So know that if you are on that journey right now, maybe you have started learning about quantum physics and manifestation and energy work, and you're fascinated by it, then you definitely need to subscribe to this channel, because this is what I teach you. We talk about your energy, we talk about your nervous system, we talk about your subconscious, and how it all plays a role in your ability to manifest, to create the life you want, and to really unlock your purpose, unlock what you're truly meant to be doing on this planet, how you're meant to serve in whatever unique way that you're encoded to do. That is what we talk about on this channel. So definitely subscribe if that is something that you are interested in learning more about. And if you're wanting and ready to go all in, then you definitely need to check out my 6-week program called Release and Embody, where I walk you through how to actually release your old identity, release the subconscious beliefs, reprogram them to the version of you that you want to become, and really embody that energy. There's a blueprint to it that once you implement it, you get better and better and better at it. You get faster and faster and faster at manifesting your desires and becoming more of who you're truly meant to be, really allowing your essence, your authenticity to shine through again. And I know each and every single person that watches this video, or doesn't even watch this video, I know every single person craves more of that. They crave more depth with themselves, whether they want to admit it or not. We all crave this deeper feeling to know ourselves in a much deeper way and to know what we're truly meant to be doing here on this planet. And that is what I walk you through inside that program. And I promise you, every single client that has gone through that program, their life, their reality begins to shift very, very quickly, because they start doing the internal work. And it's just inevitable that your physical reality is going to realign to who you are, because that's always what it's doing. It's shifting things. It's shifting timelines, because you're becoming an energetic match to something different, because you've done the internal work to do that. And the physical reality, it has no choice but to respond to that. So that is all we're doing inside that. But you can apply this at any level of embodiment. I continue to expand in who I am and expand who I am embodying through this work. And I just rinse and repeat over and over and over again, to where I'm learning something deeper about myself, and I'm able to really reprogram, or really have the curiosity to ask myself, is this an identity, a part of me that is actually me, or was this programmed within me? And is it no longer something that serves me? And if it's not, then I'm going to do the work that I teach inside Release and Embody to actually reprogram this, so that I can shift timelines and shift more into the life path that is actually meant for me. So if that was helpful, be sure to let me know in the comments what resonated most for you, or your thoughts, or what you would like me to talk about next in my next video. Go ahead and subscribe as well, so that you can be notified anytime I post new videos. I will see you in the next video.